The Hells Angels in San Diego have just been charged with a hate crime, which puts them in Ku Klux Klan territory, Proud Boy territory. It was a 17-on-3 attack, and the 3 people that got attacked happened to be black. Check out this clip.
17 members and associates of the Hells Angels are facing criminal charges in a violent attack on 3 African-American men in Ocean Beach back in June.
CBS 8's Kelly Hessedal joins us live from downtown with what she's learned today. Kelly.
That's right. You know, this is an extensive case. There are 17 defendants. Some are charged in actually carrying out the attack. Some are charged with driving away some of those defendants after the attack. And the majority of these defendants are charged with carrying out a hate crime. Now, District Attorney Summer Stephan describes what happened to the 3 victims back in June.
They were chased and attacked by several Hells Angels and Hells Angels supporters. It's possible that the attack was triggered because one of them dared to talk to one of the girlfriends of these members. They were repeatedly called racial epithets and told they didn't belong in that neighborhood.
And the DA made it clear Hells Angels have a history of hatred toward African Americans. She went on to say that one of the victims was stabbed in the chest. His sternum was cracked. The wound was so severe, doctors could see his lungs. Another victim was beaten to the point he was unconscious. The 3rd victim managed to get away. Now, that night, police arrested 1 suspect, and that led to this widespread investigation of not only of the attack, but also of other crimes they say the Hells Angels took part in, including the trafficking of drugs and guns. Investigators say that is how the group makes money. 42 illegal guns were seized, including silencers. The DA's office had on display some of the other items that were seized as part of a search warrant. Meanwhile, as this news conference was happening, some of the defendants were making their first court appearances, including the man accused of carrying out the stabbing, Troy Shoulder. In addition to the hate crime charge, he also faces an attempted murder charge. Prosecutors describe him as one of the longtime leaders of the Hells Angels. We were also there as 29-year-old Mikhail Everett Peters was arraigned on assault charges with a gang enhancement charge. He came dressed in his military uniform, and Deputy District Attorney Miriam Hemming confirmed that he is a member of the U.S. Navy.
And that across the spectrum, there are individuals who participate in criminal street gang activity, including Hells Angels, that have normal, everyday jobs like you and me. It is not a predictor of how people act out when they're part of violent organizations in public under circumstances such as this.
And I reached out to the Navy for comment. I'm still waiting to hear back. Now, all of the defendants today pleaded not guilty. We have learned there is cell phone video as well as surveillance video of evidence in this attack. Meanwhile, many of the defendants remain in custody. However, 3 that were charged with some of the lower level crimes, they have bailed out of jail. Carlo and Heather.
Obviously, upsetting case on so many levels, Kelly, but what do we know about the Hells Angels and their operations here in San Diego? And also, how are the victims in this case holding up?
Well, we know that this is an international group, that they have several chapters across California, including an active chapter here in San Diego. They frequent Ocean Beach, according to the DA's office. They have an actual clubhouse located in El Cajon, and that's where some of these defendants went after the attack back in June. As for the victims, none of their names have been released publicly. We are told 2 of them are from San Diego, that they're holding up best as can be expected, but that they're scared.
Big shout to the Ghosts and the Ghost Sets. Welcome to Demons Row TV, the holy grail of MC culture, where we cover everything motorcycle and motorcycle club involved. I'm SOS The Ghost. I'm your host for the evening. Let me know what you think about this situation in the comments, but this is a huge deal. The Hells Angels being charged with a hate crime could put them in a hate group category, which makes everything federal. If there's any incidents that go on in other states, they could be tied together. So let's say there's a fight in New York somewhere and there's blacks involved with the altercation, and then something in Chicago happens. They can tie that all up and do a big RICO case. And if they do that, We could have one of the biggest RICOs we've ever seen at a time where the president of the United States is saying the largest problem we face is white supremacy. It all ties in election time. Hopefully that's not what this is. Hopefully this is an isolated situation. And since the California system is the way it is, when you're white, you run with the woods. So they have everything they need right there. There's no lawyer that won't be able to make that case. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this an isolated situation, or is this a push to start going after motorcycle clubs as a whole? In Australia, I've been talking about this for a long time. You have 1%ers getting arrested if they go outside and their tattoos even show club affiliation. Is this the first step in that direction? I'm not saying it is, but how far will this go? And I don't co-sign any 17-on-3 jumping. I never have, but sometimes things just pop off at the spur of the moment. And I always like to look at the politics behind why these people do what they do, because they never actually care about people. Everything is always politically motivated. So what is the reason why they do this? That's why I'm interested in this. Sometimes one person will take advantage of a situation knowing that they outnumber people and throw the first punch. The suckers constantly do this. I've seen it myself. If you got a brother jumping off the deep end, pull him away, especially if you're not in danger, especially if you're outnumbering whoever it is, and especially if it's over a female. And I've done many episodes on 1%er old ladies. I told you, these women are the most protected in MC culture. You don't believe it? Look at this situation right here, and this will teach you. Don't disrespect these women. If you disrespect an old lady, it's going to end like this. I don't know how deep this gets or where it ends up, or if it winds up affecting us all, but there's a possibility if they go on a political witch hunt. I'm not saying that's what it is. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's one isolated situation. But if they get political like they did with the Proud Boys, this could get even uglier. I don't really touch the news anymore because one little factoid is off and then people are crying, and I don't got time for that. I'm too busy. But this situation right here is a serious one. If you want to support what we do here, smash the like button. Get your Ghostavelli riding mask now. They're on www.demonsroad.com. And I got a 3-part series, The Worst Nomad I Ever Met. The stories are crazy. If you have not seen it, it'll be linked above. And thank you for tuning in to Demons Road TV, the holy grail of MC culture. Like, subscribe, and comment. And oh yeah, we ghosting, baby.